Growing up outside the United States, most people build a picture in their head of what an American neighborhood actually looks like. That picture usually doesn't come from real life. It comes from a movie screen. Ask them beforehand, and almost everyone says the same thing. It's exaggerated, a Hollywood trick, streets that can't possibly look like that in real life. Then they landed. They walked down real roads, past real houses, in real towns nobody had ever told them about. One by one, almost every single person said the exact same sentence afterward. I didn't believe this was real until I saw it with my own eyes. So, what did they actually find? Let's get into it. Wide open street, big detached houses, sunlight cutting through the trees. That's the exact scene one UK traveller had pictured as a kid, long before he ever left home. Growing up around narrow roads and cars parked bumper to bumper on every curb, the image had always felt like something out of a film, not a real place.
This has got to be one of the most American-looking neighborhoods I have ever seen. When I was younger and I pictured America in my head, this is exactly what I saw. Huge open roads, beautiful houses, so much space. I would have loved to have grown up somewhere like this, because I don't know if you know, but in the UK, a lot of the neighborhoods are very cramped. The houses are right next to each other. The roads are small. And more often than not, there is no parking. I don't think you'll have any issues parking here at all. Americans, is this a normal neighborhood in America, or have we just stumbled across a really spectacular one? Let me know in the comments. And Americans, if you live in a neighborhood and it looks like this, you should be so grateful. Like, this is absolutely gorgeous. Unreal.
A second traveller, this one from the UK, set out with one goal: find the most American neighbourhood he could. When he finally found it, he just grinned into the camera. It looked exactly like what he'd pictured his whole life.
I've just found the most American neighborhood. Check this out. Tell me that doesn't look American. To an English person, that is so cool.
Where does that picture even come from in the first place? One European visitor had a simple answer. Years of watching American movies, building nostalgia for a country she'd never actually set foot in. So, the first time she walked past a white house with a picket fence and a bench on the porch, she said it felt like stepping straight into a film.
If you're an American, you can probably not relate, but all this, for European, feels like we're right inside of a movie. Like these type of houses, of course with the American flag, or the little bench on the patio, so cute. I can totally see the pumpkins that will be placed here in fall. A lot of Europeans grow up watching American movies, and the scenery we only know from movies. This is why it feels so nostalgic, and I know it doesn't make any sense to Americans, but that's just how it is.
Flags on every lamppost, giant green wheelie bins rolled out twice a week, fire hydrants sitting casually on front lawns like they belong there. A woman from Liverpool went street by street through what she called her American neighbour's world, pointing out that mail doesn't come to the door here. It goes into a box at the end of the driveway because nobody wants the postman walking all the way up. Let the grass grow too long, she added, and the local council can actually fine you for it. Small details, but every one of them told her she wasn't in England anymore.
Let's have a look around my American neighbourhood with me. First of all, there's flags on nearly every lamppost you go past. Green wheelie bins instead of purple. They're massive as well, and you get picked up twice a week. Fire hydrants in the middle of the street. Do we have stop signs like this in the UK? Everyone's grass is always cut nicely and edged, because if you leave it too high, the parish can come and give you a ticket. No one wants a ticket, do they? Nearly everyone's got one of these trees in the front garden.
Does anyone even know what type of tree this is? Is it a palm?
Another flag on someone's house. More of them trees I was talking about. We don't have a post box thing in our door. We've got mailboxes. Rocking chairs in people's front and some little decorations. The streets just look different in general, don't they? Driving on the wrong side of the road. Mailboxes at the end of your driveway, because why do you want the postman to walk up your path?
Spotless. That was the word one visitor from England kept repeating as he walked his own adopted street. Every lawn trimmed, every hedge cut to a T. The whole scene felt like a movie set, he said, and every few houses stood another American flag, mounted on a porch post or a mailbox. To him, it wasn't just tidy, it read as pride out in the open for anyone walking past to see.
I've been back in the US for 2 hours after living in Spain for 2 years, and these are some things that I have missed so badly. Number 1, normal electrical outlets. USA. Number 2, these beautiful standalone homes. I know that not all of Madrid looks like this, but words are not enough to express how happy I am to see no conjoined homes. Look at this lawn. Look at the white picket fence. Freedom. Number 3, a proper glass of water. This is water. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. But in all seriousness though, I'm so happy to be back. We're spending the first part of the trip in New Jersey, second part of the trip we're going up to New York, and third part of the trip it'll be in Florida. So welcome to Ventnor, and God bless USA.
Back home, one man had once stood on a normal UK street and confidently explained that in America, every single house stands separate. Simple enough until he actually got there. Looking at a row of connected townhomes, his brain told him he was looking at one enormous mansion. Multiple garages, multiple driveways, a private balcony he assumed belonged to just one wing. It wasn't one house, it was several, but at first glance he genuinely couldn't process an ordinary middle-class development as anything other than a single estate.
Joint together, they're...
In America, all the houses, right, are set.
Yep, that is one giant house. Yep, all one giant house. Look, separate, another massive house. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that is a massive house. Another massive house, separated. Yep, and if you don't believe me, look. That's just one giant house, separated by another giant house. Each little, wing of the house has its own balcony.
Driving through Baltimore, a Welsh traveller ran into his own version of that confusion. He said he came across a building so large he first assumed it had to be multiple houses squeezed together. It turned out to be one structure, with close to 50 separate doors leading into it.
One of the best things was that I was in Baltimore one time and I was walking down a street, and I swear to God, this house was absolutely fucking massive. I thought it was multiple houses, but oh no, it was just one. The thing was, though, that was pretty wild about this one house is that it had about 50 different little doors that you go into, and you'd enter in a different segment of the house. Yeah, it was pretty fucking cool, I'm not gonna lie. And then I was in DC the other day, just as you do, and I was in where was I? Oh, Georgetown. And I tell you what, some of the houses in Georgetown are massive. I couldn't believe it. And again, same situation. There were multiple doors to go into these houses, and I couldn't fathom it. Like back home, you just would not get that. You wouldn't get that at all. It's mental.
Then came the version nobody expected at all. Walking through a historic cottage colony, one British woman gasped before she even finished her first sentence. These houses get passed down through generations of the same family, she explained. And by the time she reached a lawn sign congratulating a graduating senior, she turned to her partner Ollie and said she refused to believe real people actually lived inside. It looked, in her words, like something out of a fairy tale. Nothing like the wide, car-heavy suburbia she'd expected from America at all.
Oh my god. These are the gingerbread houses. Apparently if you go inside these streets, they're even cuter. Oh my goodness, it's adorable. These houses are passed down through generations, so they always stay within the families. Sorry, how cute are these little houses? Oh my god, I could cry. Ollie, they're adorable. Hi.
Flag, interesting.
Liverpool FC. And it's so quiet in here. Look at them. You think you'd find these in Savannah? This is what Ollie said.
Yeah, I feel like
they're southern looking. Look, I'm just gonna zoom in to every single piece. The little gingerbread heart people. I just said to Ollie that these remind me of the houses in Bayview, Michigan. And I went to that little town. No, I refuse to believe that there's humans living in there that graduated. House, Alice in Wonderland house. That's what I just don't understand. These places in America, they aren't real. Look, this one has a little gingerbread man house. Look at this one, Ollie. This is like Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Let down your hair. It busts through the door. Hello! But the evil queen's behind her.
You're saying it like these are the actual quotes.
Oh. No, yeah, it is, isn't it? No. This is the Scottish flag. Ollie's favourite is this one.
2-story wooden houses, 4 leaves in full colour. A newspaper tossed straight onto a driveway which he said would cause an uproar back in England. Further north in Boston, another visitor found a version of America that looked almost nothing like the wide southern suburbs he'd seen before. Then he turned a corner and found a full baseball diamond sitting right next to the houses. The closest thing back home, he said, would be a football pitch. And even that wouldn't sit this close to someone's front door.
Now, I am British and I am currently in an American neighbourhood. This time it's a Boston neighbourhood. And I'm going to show you some of the differences between Boston and the UK. For a start, the colours are wild. This is a fall in America. Now, the last time I did an American neighbourhood, it was in the south in North Carolina, where the houses were all kind of single floors. Here, every house has 2 floors. So the houses seem bigger, but they are still made of wood. Now, remember the fire hydrants? These have flags on them. Now look at this. This is a newspaper. I think it's just been thrown on the driveway. If that was to happen in the UK, there'd be uproar. One thing I will say is it does feel a lot more British. I'm feeling like there's a bit of an English influence here. The weather for sure, because it is colder.
We've still got the American flags. Can always guarantee.
Every house is like something out of a Christmas movie. Like this should be on a postcard. Wait until you see this. This is a baseball field just right by a neighbourhood. Look at that. This is bonkers. In the UK, this would be a football pitch. Sorry, soccer. When I've been in the south, I haven't seen a baseball pitch right next to a neighbourhood. So does that mean that baseball is better in the north? One thing I will say is it does feel a little bit more neighboury. Everyone seems like they live closer together. So I don't know if that means that people are more friendly or it's just a smaller state so they have to live closer together. That is my comparison of American neighbourhoods through these Brits' eyes. But don't go anywhere because I feel like there's going to be a lot more to come.
Terraced houses attached wall to wall. Cars parked bumper to bumper because nobody has a driveway. Mail arriving through a slot in the front door instead of a box at the curb. To understand why all of it felt so different, one man went back to his own street in the UK and broke it down piece by piece. Shops sitting directly across the road from homes. Everything built close together on purpose, so you're never far from a pub, a chip shop or a train line.
So today I'm going to point out all the differences between a UK neighbourhood / street, regular street, versus American, okay? Now the first thing you will notice is all the houses are attached, right? Conjoined houses, and there's no parking spots in the property, so you kind of just have to park on the street. But you guys in the UK will have mailboxes, right? No. We call them letterboxes, and it's those little rectangular things in every door. Also, one thing you will notice in the UK is we don't really separate our shopping from living. And what I mean by that is you will have a furniture store right opposite just houses. To be honest, that actually makes sense. Also, one big difference in America is your properties are very large, so you have a big gap between the road and the house. Not here. Okay, something else I want to show you is this. Almost every housing estate will have an alleyway. Now, I don't know what you call them in America. I don't think you call them alleyways, but this is what they look like. General rule of thumb, don't walk down one of these late at night. Now, an alleyway will usually have a bridge that goes over a railway lines. I'll show you. Yep, here we have it, the concrete bridge with some graffiti. Lovely. And you guessed it, it's right above a railway line. I mean, it's not a bad little view, is it? Look at this, the British countryside. So yeah, that is just on most housing estates in the UK, which makes sense because we get the train and bus absolutely everywhere. Another big difference, the buildings are very, very old. So you'll have listed buildings that have kind of been turned into properties, flats, apartments, etc. And you are always walking distance away from a coffee shop, a chip shop or a pub. Let me know what you think of that little UK tour.
Hey, but the real shift never came from the architecture. It came from the people. Sitting on a porch in rural Pennsylvania with a coffee and a book, one woman noticed something that had nothing to do with square footage. Every single car that passed her waved. Not people she knew, complete strangers, lifting a hand off the wheel just to say hello. She laughed and called it the best thing that had ever happened to her, joking that she'd become instant best friends with everyone who drove past while Josh fished nearby.
And I don't think I can ever go home because I'm best friends with every single person who's driven past us now. My favorite thing about America today is I am in Pennsylvania. I'm sitting on the veranda. I've got my coffee and my Kindle, and every single person who drives past waves at me. Every single person. It's the best thing I've ever experienced. I'm just sitting here and we wave and we become instant friends. And I think this is the place I was always born to live in, because what a thing. Might be one of the friendliest places I've ever been. And I don't think I can ever go home because I'm best friends with every single person who's driven past us now. Poor Josh is out fishing, enjoying his best rural man life. He's going to come home and I'm going to refuse to go back to Alabama. It's just so lovely. And that's one of my favorite things about America today.
From her own porch, another woman noticed the exact same pattern. Total strangers passing each other on the sidewalk and saying good morning for no reason at all. Back in London, she said, people actively avoid eye contact. Nobody acknowledges anybody. Watching two strangers greet each other like old friends was such a small thing, and yet it made her whole day feel lighter.
I'm a Brit living in America, and I'm currently on the porch, the American flag, just journaling, and I just saw some people walk on the sidewalk, the pavement, as English people say, and they said good morning to each other, total strangers. And I just feel like this is something that does not happen in England. Like, people just don't acknowledge, don't make eye contact, especially in London. I feel like this is more towards London, but here they're saying good morning. It's a sunny day, people are happy, and I feel like that's just such a simple thing that makes life better, and people just acknowledging each other, and it's just so nice. And these are things that make me love America, especially like how much, like, imagine in England if we put up flags like this, like, it just does not happen. And the palm trees, I love it here so much.
Americans will smile at a total stranger for no reason. That was the claim one French visitor decided to test live on camera, admitting that the first instinct as a European is suspicion. Who is this person? Do I know them? Did we go to school together? Then a stranger walked past. Hey, how's it going? He said. Doing well, you? The stranger answered back. That was it. No hidden motive, no follow-up ask, just a normal exchange. After enough time here, he said, you start doing it back because it's contagious.
Guys, you know something so cool about Americans is that they'll smile at you for no reason. Like, you'll be walking like this and they'll come and say, hey, how's your day going? Like, they will smile. And you know, at the beginning you're like, wait, who are you? Like, do I know you? Did we go to school together? And like, after a while you start doing it too, because it's just so contagious. It's just so good. It's small things, but it makes everyone happier, you know? Like, look. Hey, how's it going?
Going well.
Good, thank you. Guys, I showed you one example. It's like this every day, 100 times. I abuse about it. I do it like too often, to be honest. No, man, love this. I'm telling you, after living here for a while, it's probably one of my favorite things.
If you've made it this far, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. We read every one of them. Friends who cheered her on. Handmade jewellery they bought just to support her. A whole community pushing her to think bigger. For one woman who left England for California, that openness ended up changing her entire career. A sharp contrast to what she called tall poppy syndrome back home, where people try to pull you back down the second you start to rise. Standing on the beach at sunset, she said moving to California was the best decision she'd ever made.
I'm a Brit living in California, and I want to tell you why I think it's better here than England. Firstly, this is where I live, which is insane. Secondly, it's the people, the community. They just dream so big. They're so enthusiastic and they want to take you with them. A lot of my friends do crazy, amazing things, and they are just so supportive of my dreams. They buy my jewelry. They are just so uplifting. And in England, I find they have tall poppy syndrome, where they want to bring you down with them if they're miserable. Misery loves company, and they want you to feel miserable too. And it's probably the weather. It's probably just like the way the country is in a lot of ways. But in America, it's just such a new country, and it's just, there's so many opportunities. The sky's the limit. And I just love living here, and it's changed my life, even being here for 10 months now. So best decision I ever made.
Safety turned out to be just as surprising. After 3 months living in Utah, one European traveller said he needed to share an unpopular opinion. America, the country he'd been warned about his whole life, felt safer than he expected. Residents leave their cars unlocked with the keys still inside while they run into a store, he said. He felt completely safe walking at night on either coast, and even the sight of people carrying sidearms read to him as quiet self-protection, not danger. Everything he'd heard growing up simply didn't match what he found.
Okay, listen, I have a really unpopular opinion about the United States as European, and this is why. I think it is super safe. People think that they're having everywhere, they're having robberies everywhere, but in fact, that's not the truth. In my case, I'm talking about the state Utah specifically. I've been living here for the last 3 months and I have noticed this. People leave their car always unlocked. Doesn't matter where they go, they leave their keys in the car and they just go inside the grocery store or whatever they're gonna do. I'm also feeling super safe when I walk around the neighborhood at night or during the day. It doesn't really matter. I feel super safe in general. And besides the state Utah, I've been in a lot of places here in the United States. I've been to the West Coast, to the whole East Coast, and I haven't felt unsafe anywhere. So yes, people do have pew-pew on their hips, but that's just for self-protection, and they probably never will need it because you feel so safe and not a lot of things will happen. It's really uncommon. So for all the people that think the United States is really unsafe and super dangerous, no, it's not. In fact, it's the opposite. It's a really beautiful country. You should visit it one time. The variety in nature is insane, and for me as a world traveler, it's one of the most beautiful countries I've ever visited.
Not every reaction was glowing. An empty sidewalk stretching for what looked like miles. That's what one German visitor going by Johannes found while walking through a Tennessee suburb. He joked that he was probably the only pedestrian for miles, adding that people probably assumed he was about to rob them. No trains, no trams, just wide roads full of what he called giant monster trucks.
Yes, servus, it's me, Johannes. I'm here visiting the United States. And I'm here in the beautiful state of Tennessee. Sorry if you are having trouble hearing me, but there are no trains or trams. It's all cars and they are all giant monster trucks. But I wanted to show you some of the beautiful surroundings. First and foremost is the beautiful view from our rental home's front yard. Wow, beautiful. I have noticed that I am often the only person walking down the sidewalks. I get the feeling that people think I am trying to rob them. Uh-oh, too many cheeseburgers and milkshakes. Oh look, a lovely Italian establishment. Domino's. Must be a small family business. Ah, and America's favorite drive-in restaurant, the Sonic. It's like everyone is dining in a restaurant together, but still alone in their cars at the same time. Oh, look, another beautiful view. USA. And you better believe there's more where that came from. But like in Germany, we're just going to give you a little bit at a time, yeah, so you don't get fat like them.
Sometimes the bigger surprise was waiting on the inside. Touring a 110-year-old cottage in Georgia with his partner Paige, one British man kept losing track of how many rooms the house actually had. A nursery tucked beside the living room, a second fridge hidden in the laundry area, cold air blasting straight up out of a vent in the floor. The place looked modest from the street, he said, and then just kept unfolding. Room after room, a maze built in absolute class. Paige told him she wanted to live there forever.
American houses are just insane. Have a look at this 110-year-old cottage we're staying in here in Georgia. As you can see, it looks like just a cute little place. Have a look at its own Spanish moss tree right here in the garden. But let me show you what this looks like on the inside. This is absolutely crazy. So as soon as you enter, you've got this lovely living room, perfect for a family. You've got the TV and an actual log fire over here. When you turn left, you have this little room here. It's like a nursery or something, which has its own little TV and a little single bed there. I just don't want to... You know what else is crazy, guys? Here in America, the AC units in houses are actually in the floor. Have a look at this. Freezing cold air is coming out of the floor. And the same again, just over here. It's like it's just this freezing cold stream of wind on all. How do you like your new house?
I love it. I'll be living here forever now. Well, at least 3 nights, because that's all it's
It is so enchanting, guys. This is the oldest house we've ever stayed in, I believe so. It's just so unassuming from the outside, and this neighbourhood is just magical, guys. I am a huge fan of Spanish moss. It just feels so atmospheric, guys. It feels like old jazz and history, everything. New Orleans, Louisiana, very much the deep south, very much Georgia.
A storm door propped open with a paint bucket had been getting him comments for weeks, so one visitor from England finally decided to figure out how it actually worked. He found the hinge that held it open on its own. Then he found something he hadn't noticed at all. The glass panel slid down to reveal a hidden screen underneath. "Oh my God," he said, "that is mad." In that one moment, he admitted, the whole country felt more convenient than he'd expected. Different countries, different accents, different reasons for getting on a plane in the first place, but almost every single one of them landed in the same place emotionally. They expected exaggeration and found houses even bigger than they'd imagined. They expected coldness and found strangers waving from moving cars. They expected danger and found unlocked doors and quiet streets. Somewhere between the driveways, the porches, and the good mornings from complete strangers, an idea they'd carried their whole lives quietly fell apart. And something better took its place. If this changed the way you picture American neighborhoods too, hit subscribe. We're just getting started.